Hello, everyone. My name is Sharbel. I'm from Lead. I would like to thank you all for joining our webinar today. As you know, today our webinar will be about the CSANMEK, the 3D anatomy table. I would like to thank as well our guys from CSANMEK for making this webinar happen today. Thank you. I hope this webinar would be beneficial for you and hope whatever questions you might have, we will leave at the end some question and answers. And if you have anything during the session, please also feel free to ask. Thank you again, and I'll leave it for you guys so you can start.
Hello all, my name is Renan. I am in charge of the international relationships of CSANMEK, and the objective of this webinar is really to show you a brief of our platform, our solutions as well. So we do some other stuff. So I'll briefly introduce ourselves here. And I plan to spend about 10 minutes in my presentation about what we do. You can definitely ask questions while I talk, or you can write in the chat if you have questions, and then we can leave like 10 or 15 minutes after the demo for answering the questions. So CSANMEK is a Brazilian team. We have a brand new partnership with Lead, and we are excited to roll it. Basically, our company exists for as a main product the the anatomy table. Going through our portfolio here, let me just like share it here. Okay. Here's an example of you can see in the picture an example of teaching solutions that we do. So it contains like microscopes, it contains the platform itself. This is the physical platform we will talk about. It contains physiological models, and we are known in the country for being able to customize and provide solutions for universities that no one did before. So we don't simply provide the solution, but we also are open and are very creative to customize for the universities and what they need. So these are some of the companies and the universities that have our solution here in Brazil. We have like a map of our install base. We are continuously growing for other regions out of South America. And you can see we have some in Europe, some in Asia. Here are like basically the segments we have. So we can offer solutions for hospitals and for universities. Our software is integrated with the backs of the hospital. So all the database of patients can be integrated with the platform, and you can easily translate and rebuild the hospital database to the platform and transform that into a teaching environment or even into a planning environment, and we will show that soon. Here's some example of the laboratory and classrooms that we can create. So with the physiological models, with the virtual environment, we will go through that. Here's like the laboratory stuff. This is a mix of our telemedicine with our physiological models. Here you can see some of our telemedicine solutions. So telemedicine is being a very hot topic in the moment with COVID and with everything that we have right now. So we can provide consoles of telemedicine where the patient is going to be looking at the physician, is going to be communicating with the medical team, and the medical team can import all their protocols in a safe environment and control all the patient information and the protocols without needing to have physical access to the patient. So the intention of this is to make the attendance to the patients more agile and definitely more safer in terms of COVID. So if you have patients with COVID, they can communicate more quickly with physicians with this kind of solution. And the physicians, of course, they don't need to be on site. This is like the continuation of what I'm talking about. You can see the different kinds of consoles we have here. And then we have customized solutions for pedagogical projects. We can definitely, elaborate, structure, monitor all the curriculum for that with our solutions. And we are very focused on distance learning. So basically, our platform allows remote access and allows to be shared remotely. So you can, it's basically a change of the way you basically will do the current classes for your students. Um, Here are some pictures of the 3D platform itself. So it's basically a 86 or 66 inch screen. It's touch screen, and you have like many resources installed in this touch screen in the server. So basically, we can do like the reconstructions. We can have some already prepared apps with human atlas, with human anatomy atlas. We can have muscle movements. We can have histological data. So we kind of cover everything from macro to micro. Um, and here's our prime model. This is what we call the PL01. Those are basically the technical specs of that. It's certified by the national entity in Brazil called Anvisa. It also has FDA approval for parts of the platform. So it adjusts so it can be on in the vertical and horizontal view, and it's all like here. So it's an adjustable screen that you can use. We have this PLM. The difference here is like this is 86 inch and the other one is 65 inch. So basically, it's a bigger screen here, and but it doesn't adjust. So you can't use this in the horizontal fit. And this one is the PLE. So this is like the intention of showing you guys these models, like we have more economical versions of our prime solution that have difference in the engine of the adjustments of the screen, but the resources are gonna kind of be the same. So those are the three main models we work. And we plan to show this today as well. So our platform is integrated in a VR environment. So with some glasses and resources here, you'll be able to use the VR stuff and navigate through VR through the human body. And we will show this as well. So here's another example of the virtual reality we provide. So you can navigate through tissues, through organs, through many different resources here. Finally, we have our physical models. So we have like a training arm model. So you can train suture, you can train punction, and this is quite interesting. Like this is something we developed, and the skin feels really close to the human skin, and you'll be able to train all of that in a very realistic way. You can see here an example of suture. You can see here an example of how it looks inside the body. So the what we have inside. And here's like another solution we have for just suturing. It's more like portable and cheaper as well, but we use the same scheme we use in the other model. The difference, this is in a box and the other is in a human body. Um, Here's another synthetic head for procedures. So you can definitely use that also for evaluation, for suture, for planning. We can build and customize those kinds of solutions. And finally, we can also provide a mapping room system. So basically, this camera is installed in a strategical position, and it will map the solution, the room, the entire room. And we have an app integrated in this webcam. So the students will be able to navigate through the procedure without being in the room. This is really innovative, and this brings a lot of benefits. Like decrease risks of infections. This increases the amount of people that could be in the room because they're all virtual, and they can have a better view of the procedure, of what is being done in the procedure without needing to be in the room. So this is a quick introduction about our company, about what we do. Um, I'll handle some live translation of our demonstration of the platform. So we have our CEO Claudio with us. Claudio unfortunately doesn't speak English, but I'll do the translation for you. And so if I keep silent for 20 seconds, it's because I'm listening to him, and then I'm translating to you guys. So let me just ask Claudio to share his screen now, and we will start the presentation. So I'll just like keep his audio with me. Claudio is starting to share his screen. Claudio, can you share your webcam as well? Just a second, guys. All right. So, guys, as you can see, let me just do a quick adjustment here. All right. So if you focus on the Zoom meeting, you can see the webcam that Claudio is presenting. You can see himself as well. You can see that he's touching the solution. He's touching the anatomy table, and the initial position we have right now is a 3D reconstruction that our platform does. So we have the coronary, the sagittal plans. We have all the plans on the right, as you can see. So basically, the platform imported a DICOM information from the patient. And what you can see in the main of the screen is a reconstruction that our platform did automatically. So we have a library of cases, and we can choose each case we want. You can import your own case, and it will reconstruct in a very similar way you're seeing right now. This is like the 3D reconstruction of the library. So this is a brain tumor patient. So with the 3D reconstruction, we can make cuts, as you can see right now. You can rotate, and you'll be able to see the tissue inside the cuts. So you can exactly cut on whatever you want. So if you want to do a deeper cut, a wider cut, it's definitely up to the professor based on what the professor wants to show or what the physician wants to plan. In this case, we will have like the tumor, as you guys can see. We did an overlay to understand what are the arteries that are feeding the tumor, and we will kind of separate the tumor to have a clear view of that, like removing the skin and removing some irrelevant parts for us in this procedure. You can see the circuit of Willis. You can see basically the tumor. We can measure the tumor as well. So, Cláudio, consegue fazer as medidas, por favor? So Cláudio is gonna measure. So we can. This is really interesting, guys. This is our 3D reconstruction our system did, and it's very accurate in terms of measuring the size of the tumor. So using this kind of software, you can plan for procedures, you can plan for incisions, you can see what is the best way to access this tumor, in a very practical way. So like he's measuring the how deep the tumor is and the size of the tumor and the profundity, the length of the tumor, everything can be measured. And yeah, this all came from a DICOM image from the patient. So you just need to have a CT scan, and you import in the system, and we'll do this automatically. So as I said in the beginning, this is interesting for, first of all, for education. So you can kind of make a dissection here without needing to have the cadaver with you. And you can definitely use this for planning as well. So yeah, and it will move in all the other three ways. It's a very easy way to visualize everything. So what we will do now with the other resources we have in the platform, we will do some correlations of our solution. So you saw what we call the Sense 3D. This is a platform developed and an app developed from us. And now we will show you with the Atlas in terms of teaching what kind of dynamic you can have. So here we have our basic atlas. So this is already a differential we have. Like if you guys are used to teach based on PowerPoint slides and books, here you have a much more dynamic solution to make your teaching. So we can have like the full body, and we can divide this in layers. So we can have the skull, we can have the arteries, the veins, the tissues, everything we can have it here. So we will do the same correlation here. So we kind of made a cut in the brain, a cut in the skull, now a cut in the brain. So now we have the same system in the brain, and we can kind of create the tumor to make a correlation here and make the students understand what are the usual arteries that are connected here, and what is really the issue for this patient, the location, like how to treat that or how to evaluate that, whatever you guys want to show. This is what you saw here. Now we will open our histological, part of the solution. So we kind of gave like a macro overview. So we had the reconstruction from the real patient. We are associating this to the atlas. So you can kind of use the atlas and say, okay, this is connected to the circuit of Willis, to the carotids, to the whatever arteries you wanna talk about, or whatever circuit in the brain, or you can even talk about the phases to access this tumor in this case. And then we have this histological view of the problem. We can even compare the healthy part of the histological view and with the unhealthy part of the histological view. So you can see we are zooming it, and it keeps the quality, so you can really go very deep on what we can see. There you go. And also now Claudio is going to open an unhealthy part of the brain. So you can see we have a big, wide, library of information. So you can use that. Like this is the healthy one, and the other one is the unhealthy one. So like it's supposed to be like that. And if you have like a tumor, that's how it shows. So basically, he can put it side to side, and you guys can compare this real time, the different tissue in a micro view of the healthy one and the unhealthy one. Cláudio, coloca os dois do lado só para a gente comparar, por favor. So Claudio is just like trying to share the full screen. It's sharing app by app right now. So let's try to fix that real quick. Ele deve ter uma opção de full screen aí, Claudio, que eu tô. Vê a primeira opção, lá de cima. Isso. Just a second, guys. All right. Now I think we can have a full screen sharing, so you can kind of see all the resources. So then we have the healthy part of this logical view, and also the unhealthy part of the histological view. You can see that in the screen. There's a quick delay here for us on what he's doing, but we can definitely see that. So basically you can see all the neurons and all the really microscopical view of the tissues. I mean, this is really interesting, guys, because you can cover all parts of education here. Like it's not just like a simple map of the brain. It's really like the so yeah, you have the tumor in the left side, and you have the brain in the right side. So there you go. I mean, you can go back to the other apps at any time. You know, you can, I mean, use the 3D reconstructor. You can use the atlas. You can use that, and it really depends on what you want to teach for the students or for the public you're targeting. Okay. So we'll go back to the Sense 3D right now, our app, and Claudio will do other demonstrations of what we can do. So we kind of close the case, and now we can see the full library. Navigate in the library. So you already receive when you buy our solution, you already receive more than 140 cases that you can use. And now we're going to show you a COVID patient. So this is quite interesting. We will open, first of all, a healthy lung so you can see how it rebuilds and how it looks like and how we can see the COVID lung and how it works. So basically that's a real patient. We have some presets here. We just selected one to have a good view of that so you can see all the structure of the lungs, of the body itself, but especially of the lungs where we are looking for here. You can have the rotation. You can isolate the lungs if you want. So that's like, yeah, he's navigating through the healthy one. And now he's gonna close it and he's gonna open the first, it was one of the first COVID cases in Brazil, which the government sent to us. This is actually the sixth case. And the government sent to us for evaluation and to you know really see what they could evaluate using our platform. This is quite impressive. Claudio is going to select the same preset here, so you can see the lungs and you can see how occupied the lungs were. So you can see all the fibroids, all the structure of the lungs affected by COVID. And this can be used, as I said, for evaluation of patients. So just imagine you guys have this solution already integrated in the hospital system. So you automatically upload all the information automatically here for the for the system. Then you can have the presets and do a full evaluation of the lungs. Again, this is a real case. This is a real patient that we just had the DICOM information and it automatically converted in something that we could visualize. So he's removing the additional structure right now so we can isolate the lungs. And for example, the physician here or even the discussion group could do an evaluation about what is being affected in the lungs for the COVID here. Yeah. So you can see all the fibroids and all, all the occupation of that. So you can say like, okay, in this kind of, you can kind of set, and this is the correlation of for the DICOM information. So you can set treatment plans, you can set discussions with the team. So this is the idea that I want to present to you guys here is like this changes the way you guys are teaching today. Like this is an alternative to bring this to real world and bring the public to a more decision position where they need to evaluate the real scenarios and take decision from that. So, and we believe this is like the best way to teach. So yeah, now we will make another correlation to the human atlas for biomechanical interests. So this is the 14-year-old boy that we reviewed, and we will make similar dissections, but we now want to do a correlation based on movements. So we are just like cutting so we can remove the support from his head for the exam. So we are removing some parts of, we're basically increasing or decreasing the presets we want by just scrolling the mouse. So you can tag parts. Yeah, so this is like a boy that suffered an accident, and he's like measuring this part of the body. So we'll go back to the body. We will recreate the system now. We're kind of undoing what we did before, just to have like a full body to do another correlation. So while he's doing that, it's important to say we can use the same structure for online teaching. So just imagine the professor would be with the platform. The professor can remotely access the platform if he or she wants, and we can share the same structure for the students. So the students will be able to see the screen, they will be able to see the camera, and the professor will be able to do the same class we're doing here for how many students you want with unlimited access. And we consider this a game changer, especially now with the situation, all the universities being closed for COVID. It's always a challenge to do those classes, and we can manage this content remotely as well. What is interesting here, like we are randomly doing correlations, but you guys can prepare the class you want in the platform. So you can basically plan the content you want to show and prepare and really approach the topic you guys want to do. And this is really appreciated in the universities we do here. So now he's reviewing the body with the other structures. We just like showed the correct position of the patient, kind of the same position the patient is, and where the accident was caused, and the breaks in the bones and everything. You can in this app you can do different kind of breaks. You can do like a full break, like a simple rupture. You can do many kind of ruptures. And now we are going to the second app. Just a second. And he's going to show the biomechanical movements of that, and you can kind of correlate, okay, this is a real patient that had those bones broke, and what are the muscles and the tissues and the movement that are affected for these bones, for this specific accident, so it's loading, so we can see the muscle and the bones view again. So he's now, you can not only cut it, but you can also set what kind of tissues do you want to show. So he's showing that, and now we'll go to the muscle atlas, and we'll show what are the muscles affected for that. As you can see, we can have different layers of of the view. And then we can have the motion. So you can explain what are the movements impacted for the issue you just saw in the 3D reconstruction. So what are all the muscles that moves when you do specific motions? As you can see, he's doing now. So again, this is all correlations. So you can prepare a full class of, muscles or bones or whatever is being impacted for accidents and bringing this to reality. So it's not just like following the books, but also bringing this to specific situations where we expect the students to be able to take decisions. So we can reconstruct any kind of tomography. So this works for humans, for animals, for everything. Uh, do you guys? So Charbel, do you think we should show the reconstruction of animals as well, or what we saw here is enough?
Yeah, why not? If we can show quickly just a small example, so we have also some vet universities here that might be also interested in.
Okay. So we'll quickly show you the same structure for a dolphin. So this is also a CT scan for a dolphin that was found dead, and the government wanted to understand what happened with this animal. So you can see we were able to have the DICOM image of this animal, and you can see the body of this animal. You can see kind of the how damaged it was inside for the oil that was in the ocean, which is quite interesting. And we also saw like the lesion it had in its mouth. So this is when it jumped out of the tank and crashed the mouth and broke it and couldn't eat more. And that's why the animal passed away. You can see how realistic it is to do the 3D reconstruction. And you can see exactly the break in the mouth for a very accurate evaluation of what happened. And interestingly, we could see the oil inside the animal, which was not the cause of the death, but this was able to detect in the 3D reconstruction. So this is just like summary to say like we can have animals and humans reconstructions, and for animals we also have the atlas. So we'll show that in a second. We just So yeah, another thing we will show, just a real quick moment. Mostra só o atlas de animais, Cláudio, por favor. So we will just like to follow the animal approach. We will show you the animal atlas. So the same in the human atlas you guys just saw, we can see it here for the animal ones. So just a second, you can have like dogs, cows, cats, frogs, all kinds of animals. Um, it's all available. And the same way we did with the human atlas, you can do it here. So you can divide it by layers. You can remove muscles. You can remove vessels. You can remove bones. So whatever you want to show and explain the anatomy here, you can do that, and you can definitely do cuts the same way you did in the human one. Yeah. So this is like all the parts we can have, and we can by combining this, you can isolate and do specific correlation. It has labels for the specific parts of the bones and of the body. So this is quite interesting. Yeah. And again, we can have this for all kinds of animals. So if you want to have like just a vat, a table, you can do that. You can see that he's removing specific parts of the bones. So you can remove, you can clear. This makes you isolate exactly the area you want and show what would be the structure behind that. So we can, for example, have a heart and break the heart and see the chambers and see all the structures of the heart if we want. This for humans and for animals. Okay, just to finalize our demonstration of the 3D platform so far, we want to show a reconstruction we can do. So this is basically an aneurysm that we have for the patient. So pode mostrar a reconstrução, Cláudio. We will. Não, pode ser do humano mesmo. So we'll open an human anatomy. That's a very nice solution we have and allows you to reconstruct and rebuild just the system you wish. So in this case, we have an aortic aneurysm for the patient, and we received just the DICOM information, and the system does the segmentation automatically. So that's what we're going to show you, and we are going to show you also how quick it works. So basically, we are gonna just adjust the layers so we can see the arterial system as we want, and you can see the aneurysm in the belly. So we will now, Claudius kind of rotating, and the intention here is just like to separate the arteries from the bones, and you can have a full 3D view of the full solution. Now you can see this with bones. There you go. You can see like the full presets, the full overlay of the tissues. Yeah, this is a different preset. Faz a segmentação aí, Cláudio, para a gente ver. And you can definitely navigate through all the presets, but now we will do the segmentation. So it's very simple to do. That's one of the beauty of the solution as well. You will just adjust the correct preset we need. You will navigate through it, and now he will tag the parts he wants. And he can have a visual confirmation of this segmentation, because this is going to be highlighted in the main screen. So you can see this like automatically selecting the structures we want, in this case, the aneurysm. And by simply, rotating your mouse, you just separate the arteries. This is very used for vascular physicians when they want to do aneurysms. They do this kind of segmentation to plan the placement of the grafts. And this is something we did in literally 1 minute. You can see how accurate that is. Tranquilo. So let me just communicate with him real quick. Você vai mostrar alguma coisa do VR ou não? Yeah, so I just made like a quick confirmation if we were going to show the virtual reality stuff we have. We don't have this available right now, but we can definitely share videos with you, and you can see how it works, like presentation videos. But that's basically an overview we have for our solution. As I said, we plan to leave 10-15 minutes for questions. So if you guys have questions, we would love to hear and address them. So I think that's what we plan to show you. Charbel, if you want to moderate, it's with you now.
Sure. Thank you very much, guys. That was really impressive. So we will have time now for questions until the other presentation for the VR is ready. So please, if anyone has any question, please feel free to ask.
I'm not sure if we highlighted well the examination part and student assessment part. Can we just have a quick view about this?
Sure. When you mean examination, what specifically do you want to see?
The platform where students will come and answer questions, and then the reporting of those answers, like passing grade scores, this kind of information and this kind of tool that the educators would need to assess their students, the knowledge of their students.
Okay, let me ask him just a second. All right, so he will do this right now for us. It's interesting that we can use those parts in the atlas and in the 3D reconstruction as well, but we will show exactly what you asked for. So in the atlas, we can add, we can have the labels and we can remove the names of the structures and we can have the students to fill it. So while he's doing that, just a second. So you can open that text for typing. You can add your comments, or you can add students' comments of this part, and you can make questions out of that. So basically, like you have like the structure, and you can set like question fields where the students will need to answer specifically for that structure. And those structures can be based on correlation, or I mean anything you want to ask here. Yeah. Like this is basically a preparation of a test or a class. Basically you're gonna like, okay, this is like the temporal bone, and you can prepare the question based on that, based on what they're seeing here. Or you can even ask them what are the structures. We can remove the label for the temporal bone, and you can see, hey, what is missing here, or what is the structure supposed to be here. Yeah, you can see he can have all kinds of pens and all kinds of tagging here. So this is like a 3D mark that we can do. And this rotates and this stays in the rotation, which is quite important. So, I mean, normally if you have this kind of markations, if you want to rotate it, it won't follow, and here it will definitely follow. So just a second. He's now gonna show the heart for a similar evaluation. Yeah. So just a second. He's breaking the structures of the heart, and you can pause and add labels here for testing as well. Yeah, there you go. And you can even make additions on where you're seeing the trabecula. We can remove that text and leave it for the student to fill it. So I hope that clears the question, the examination part.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions before we move to the VR part? Okay, I think we can move, Renan, to the VR. And if any questions, please feel free to ask.
Sure. So we will show you some videos of our VR solution just to finalize it. Real quick, I'm just like preparing that. And kind of you can even add more content to the correlations you're seeing here. Just a second, it's coming. So why? Yeah, I have it here. Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen as well. Just a second. Yeah. So I'll just ask Claudio to stop sharing his screen so I can share mine. All right. This. This is basically a YouTube video. We can definitely share this video with you later. I hope you guys can see my screen well. We have a very quick presentation. It's all in Portuguese, sorry, but about it. But you can kind of see the structure and how it works. So you can the beauty of the solution is that you can navigate inside the solutions. This is like a brief introduction of the CEO about the solution. And while he says you can see like you just need to have a VR glass. You can use that remotely, so you don't need to be in front of the platform. So every student can have their own VR glass on their home, on their whatever they are, or you can have separate places of the university to keep social distancing. But you don't need to be in front of the platform to use this solution. So basically, you use the VR, and you will be able to. Let me advance this here a little bit. Here's a quick demonstration of the screen on what you're seeing, and you use that to navigate in the bodies, and we can kind of create a virtual laboratory so the students can feel they are in the physical laboratory. And this is an example of the navigation they can do of the tissues. So just imagine you are navigating in the laboratory, and you're navigating in the human anatomy in a much more interactive way to teach. You can see the camera of the person navigating through it physically, and you can see what they see in the software. As I said, this is all in Portuguese. Sorry for that. Now, they're going to show basically a little bit more how it works. So we have a female and a male model here to use. You can kind of set structures and set the organs you wanna go. As he's pointing here, it's all with the VR structure. As you can see it here. And then they're pointing. And this is all integrated with the platform. So you can use what we just showed, and you can also use this kind of solution. So he's removing the structures. You can see they are zooming in, zooming out. They can go inside the organs, as you can see it here. So you can see the valves and the structure of the heart, for example. The heart is always good to show. As you can see, they are rotating. And I mean, we are kind of seeing what they can see, but in the glasses, they can see this in a very more, in a much more 3D view, you know. The video says for itself. I'm kind of trying to go for it, but I think it talks for itself. Yeah, so this is basically like the video we want to show for the VR solution. And this VR solution is integrated in the platform. So you can have all the 3D reconstruction, all the apps, all the atlas, all the histological information, and also the VR solution we just showed. And that's it, what we wanted to show you guys. I think this last one was even new for Sherbel and his team. So if you have questions, we are open to answer.
Can you integrate the CT scan into the system?
Yes. So you only need to have the CT scan, and the platform will automatically import it and do the reconstruction for you.
I see. I see. Can the student use it from home?
Yes, they can. So
They can.
you can remotely access the platform, and you will use this from home. You won't use, of course, the touch screen capabilities, but the system is available to be accessed remotely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure. Any more questions?
Not from myself. Thank you.
Okay. Charbel.
Yeah, I have a question actually regarding the VR solution. So when they are not in front of the hardware or the table, so they will need eventually to have their laptop and the software installed in it, or how does it work?
I think that's a good question. Let me just confirm with our CEO, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Just a second. Just a second. Okay, so they need to be in front of the laptops to use the VR glasses. So they need to have the glasses and the laptop to use the solution. So this is for the VR, for the last one that I showed.
Yeah, and the software will be the same software will be installed on this laptop, or a specific software for this VR option.
Can you just repeat, Shabal? Sorry.
Yeah, so once they are on their laptops connecting the VR gear, so which software will be installed on this laptop? I mean, you know, this software is quite big and needs some specific specifications for the laptop. So is it the same software that will be installed on their laptops, or a specific one for the VR?
Yeah, there is an individual license for the software. So in theory, the software would be installed in the platform, and then you can make the access to the platform. But this is a very specific software that we provide. This is called Madroom, and we can definitely share the specifications with you. One of the things that we can use for remote access is basically you need to manage this. To manage this, you need to be in front of the platform and the system, but you can share the screen remotely. So the professor can be in front of the lab, in front of the laptop, and the professor can just share the information with the students remotely. So the students don't need to be on site to see what is being done.
Is there any specific hardware to the VR mask, any specific brand, or it just goes with any hardware? And specifically, I'm speaking about those low-cost hardware where you put your mobile phone in and then you could use it. So the headset specs, are they advanced or just go with cheap ones?
Sure. It needs to be a high performance laptop in this case to make sure it will run properly. So in theory, we would provide the hardware, or it just like need to be an i7 processor with 8 gigabytes of video. So it has to be a good laptop to run it. But I mean, can be a laptop. Doesn't need to be specifically like.
And the headset.
The headset is just part of the solution. Then we can definitely share the specifications of what are the headsets to be used.
Okay, so for the headsets, can we just buy locally our headsets and use it, or it has to be somehow from your side?
Yeah, I think we can go deeper in the specifications later. Claudio just told me here that we have like packages of 200, 300 licenses. So as long as you set like a standard for the students, they can just like buy the glasses and use in their own houses the solution. So definitely you can kind of share that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and definitely we can. I mean, for all the customers that are interested in that, we can share the information specifically like all the hardware requirements, all the model of the glasses, the pricing, everything, how it works, and we can go deeper on that. The intention in this brief call is just like to briefly mention that we have the solution available, and we can definitely go in more details in specifications later.
Great. Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Would you please send the recording link to our email so we can share it with our customers?
Yeah, sure. So if there are no more questions, I'm gonna end up by mentioning that this webinar was recorded, and as all our webinars that we're doing, it will be always uploaded on our website. By just logging into our website, you can go to webinars and you can go to any webinar that we did, and you can share it with your clients. Just a reminder to please visit our website, and you can also visit our eShop that is available, which is the first in the Middle East. You can also benefit from our eShop. Thank you very much. I would like to thank everyone for attending. Thank you, CSANMEK team, for this great presentation. We're going to share with all attendees this presentation. As I mentioned, you can always log into our website. Thank you very much.
That, just before we finish, we are available to record specific content. So if you guys have specific questions, we can definitely approach that separately. So just reach out to Charbel and the team, and we are happy to do that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.
Thank you very much for all. Okay.